Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. My beloved brothers and sisters, today I want to teach you a dua. I want to teach you some words that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam he taught us to say when me and you become sad, when we become depressed, when we face the hardships of this dunya, when it becomes very extensive and we're on the verge of losing hope. There is something that the Prophet ﷺ, he taught us that if we say it, it will help relieve a person of that very pain and sadness and that depression that they are feeling. The Quran and the Sunnah, in it is a cure for everything, my beloved brothers and sisters. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Ma anzalallahu da'an illa anzala lahu shifa'an." That Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala did not send down a disease, a illness, a sickness, a problem, except that a cure was also sent with it. And there are many things that the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, he taught us to say based upon the sadness and the depression and the hardship and the pain and the agony that we might feel. But I just wanted to mention to you just one of them, just to show to you the beauty of some of the words that are within this one particular dua that the Prophet ﷺ he mentioned. This particular hadith is narrated by Al-Imam Abu Dawood wa Ibn Majah in their books of hadith. And the hadith was narrated by Asma'u bint Umays radiyallahu ta'ala anha, where she basically said, she said, قال لي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. She said that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said to me the following words. Pay attention to the words of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, ألا أعلمك. The Prophet said to Asma, should I tell you, should I teach you, kalimatin, words, تقولينهن, that you can say, عند الكرب أو في الكرب, words that you can say at the time of severe sadness, when hardships are, when you're facing so much hardship. Shall I teach you some words that you should say in this particular moment? And of course the Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'een, when they are posed a question like that by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, of course the answer is going to be Na'am, yes, Bala, of course, Ya Rasulullah, teach me these words. Because who is it that doesn't face hardship in their life? Who is it that doesn't go through sadness? Who is it that doesn't get tested in this world to the point that sometimes you're on the verge of losing hope and you're on the verge of falling into darkness? Everybody needs that hope. Everybody needs that solution to help them get out of that. And so the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he recited these following words. He said, say the following, Ya Asma, say the following. What is it? He said, Allah, Allah, Rabbi la ushriku bihi shay'a. That's it. That's it. Hear it. Listen to these words with your heart, my brothers and sisters. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when you are going through hardship and you are going through sadness and depression and anxiety and everything is kicking in, what do you say? Say, Allah, Allah, Rabbi la ushriku bihi shay'a. Now, I'm going to very quickly, inshallah ta'ala, just explain to you what is being mentioned here. What is being mentioned here? What do these words mean? Very briefly, but I promise you, if I had the time, I would have made a longer video and I would have expressed this in more details in order for you to really understand why is it that the Prophet ﷺ chose these words for the person to say at the time of hardship. The Prophet ﷺ started by saying that when you go through these problems, when you're going through this pain and this agony, start by saying Allah, Allah. What is Allah? Allah, it is Lafzul Jalala. It is the honorable name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What is the meaning of the name Allah? It means al-ma'bud. It means the one who deserves to be worshipped in truth. the one who deserves your worship. And there is nobody else that is deserving of that ibadah, that worship whatsoever, except for Him, Tabarak wa Ta'ala. And so, when you're going through these problems and you're going through this situation, sometimes you forget and you lose focus on who is the one that controls your affairs, who is the one that you need to give your primary attention to, who is the one that can remove the hardship from you. And so the Prophet said that when you go through this, remember and say Allah, Allah. Not once, but twice. The Prophet ﷺ said, you mentioned the name of Allah twice. Allah, Allah. And the second time you mention it, it's as if the Prophet ﷺ is putting emphasis on the fact that you have to remind yourself at the time of when you're going through these struggles, the thing that's going to save you, the thing that's going to help you, the thing that's going to benefit you the most is at-tawheed, is to single Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala out in worship. To remember that it's only Him that you turn to. What happens when people go through hardships? What happens when people go through pain? What happens during those moments? People, they slip up. People, they feel like I need to find a way to basically, take care of this pain. And what can I do? Some people, they start smoking. Some people, they do drugs. Some people, they listen to music. Some people, they commit zina. Some people, they drink alcohol. Some people, they start, shedding blood. People do different things. And a lot of those things are just haram. And so the Prophet's saying, look, when you're going through the problems, you're not supposed to dive and dwell more into your desires or waste or do things that are displeasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the time when you need to remind yourself, Allah, Allah, Allah tabarak wa ta'ala. What about Allah? What is it about Allah that you need to know? First and foremost is that you worship Him alone, but you need to know Rabbi, Rabbi, Allah, 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 Rabbi. What does Rabbi mean? What does Rabbi mean? The word Rabb, Ar-Rabb, it is a name from the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah huwa Rabb, He is the Rabb. And what does it mean? The word Rabb means the one who created everything. And He creates everything, so He owns everything. And because He owns it, He takes care of all of the affairs for these things. Allah Tabarak Ta'ala is the one that created all of us. And He is the one that owns each and every single one of us. And therefore He controls all of our affairs. He is the one that provides for us. He is the one that gives to us. He is the one that sustains us. All of that is Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so the Prophet said, you have to remind yourself of this by saying Rabbi. Now Rabbi, what does that mean? It means that Allah, Rabbi, He is my Rabb. He is my Rabb. What does it mean when you say Allah is my Rabb? You're saying that Allah is the one that created me. Allah is the one that created me. Allah is the one that knows me. Allah is the one that takes care of me. Allah is the one that provides for me. Allah is the one that owns me. I'm in this problem today, and the one that can help me and aid me and assist me and remove this from me is Rabbi. The one that created me and knows what I'm going through. The one that knows what I can handle and what I can't handle. And so you say Allah, Allah, Rabbi. Allah, Allah, my Rabb. لا أشرك به شيئا. لا أشرك. What does that mean when you say لا أشرك? لا أشرك. لا means I do not. أشرك. أشرك means associate partners. So if you say أشرك on its own, it means I associate partners. I do shirk. It comes from the word shirk. It means I do shirk. But if I say لا أشرك, what does that mean? It means I do not associate partners. I do not do shirk. I do not do shirk. La ushriku. I don't associate partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in any way, shape or form whatsoever. Not major, not minor. Not the apparent, not the hidden. I stay away from all forms of shirk. I only ask Him. I only worship Him. I don't make dua to people in the grave. I don't go to other people and begging them and asking them to aid me when Allah Ta'ala is the only one that has that ability. La ushriku bihi. I do not do shirk bihi with Him. I do not do shirk with Him bihi shay'a, with anything whatsoever. Not even the slightest of things. You know what's really powerful about this? You know what's really powerful? when you acknowledge that Allah, the one that deserves to be worshipped, is my Rabbi, the one that created me, sustains me, and takes care of all of my affairs. I do that on the basis of acknowledging at the very same time, because Allah is the one that deserves to be worshipped, and because He's my Rabb and He created me, owns me, sustains me, provides for me, and He does all of that. On top of that, for that reason, لا أشرك به شيئا. I'm not going to associate any partners with Him. I'm not going to do any shirk whatsoever. And لا أشرك به شيئا. This is a qaida in the deen, which basically shows this is everything. When you say لا أشرك به شيئا, that nakira on the word shay'a shows that there's nothing at all that I associate partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What's so powerful about this statement? What's so powerful about this statement? That you are acknowledging at the time of when you're going through hardships and pain, that the thing that's going to help you the most is the tawheed of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and disassociating from any form of shirk whatsoever. And it's interesting the fact that the Prophet ﷺ will give this to us as a cure, as a way to help us and aid ourselves at the time of our problems. Because when you're going through masa'ib and problems, what's the one thing that you need? What's the one thing that you need, my brothers and sisters? You need help. You need aid. You need support. And who do we ask help from? Who is it that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to ask help from? Who? إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. Allah, it is only you that we seek help from. Allah wants you to turn your attention to Him, tabarak wa ta'ala, and use that as your means for resolving your problems. When you remember at the time of these problems that Allah is your creator and Allah is the one that deserves to be worshipped, and that you are not going to associate any partners with Him, and you affirm the highest form of tawheed you possibly can, Allah tabarak wa ta'ala will give you ease. There's a direct connection between you manifesting your tawheed and your karb and your hardships and your pains being removed from you. This is just one example. This is one dua. It's one dhikr by the Prophet ﷺ. There are many more. I just want to show this as an example, because we're all going through problems and trials in our lives, and if not now, they come to us. And the Prophet gave us solutions to these problems and how to get over the pain and the sadness and anxiety and the depression that you might feel. Say it. Say it. There are times when I used to go through problems and hardships, and I would stand and I would say, remind yourself of this dua. And I would say to myself, Allah Rabbi la ushriku bihi shay'a. Say it. Sit down and just say the dhikr of Allah. Say this dua. And I promise you, you'll find comfort. If you know what you're saying, you understand tawheed, and you understand how bad shirk is, and you say these words at the time of your hardship, watch how Allah tabarak ta'ala gives you relief. Watch how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you aid and support in this thing that you're suffering from. May Allah tabarak ta'ala uplift from you any sort of hardship that you may have, and I hope that this will be a form of benefit for you to help you and aid you in begging Allah to remove this hardship from you. May Allah tabarak ta'ala bless you, each and every single one of you. We've got to learn more du'as. We've got to learn more adhkar. We've got to understand what they mean. There's a reason why we say them. There's a reason why the Prophet gave them to us. There's a reason why we're supposed to say them. Not without meaning. Learn the meaning. Learn the Arabic language. Study it. Understand. Educate yourself. Be a person that knows what they're begging Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah bless you all. Barakallahu feekum wa jazakumullahu khairan. As a side note, if you want to learn the Arabic language, you can always join us at the Arabic Code Academy. The link is in the description. Learn the Arabic language will help you to access things like this so you can understand your deen better. Connect with Allah tabarak ta'ala better. May Allah bless you all. Barakallahu feekum wa jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.